Let's talk about Sand Sharks, 2012's action-adventure comedy film where the residents of a small town team up to kill a group of evolved sharks that can now swim in the sand. This week I'm joined by the honey badger himself, Stu. How's it going, mate?
I thought you were going to call me a sand shark, but yeah, I'm alright, mate. How are you?
I'm very good, mate. I'm just going round the members of the channel, giving nicknames out.
Yeah. I found sand sharks quite interesting. Essentially, the first 5 minutes, it's just people ragging it around on motocross bikes in a desert. Then it's Brooke Hogan. I very quickly realised that this was basically tits and machinery, which fucking lured me in. That was it. I was invested.
Everything you're about as a man, Stu.
This movie is basically everything that I'm about as a man. So, from the get-go, heavy machinery and tits.
It was a rough watch, this one.
Nah, it's fantastic. I knew it was fantastic from the first kill. His helmet's just perfectly laid down with a little flag next to it. I had to rewind it to figure out it was attached to his motocross bike, but I couldn't work it out, and I was thinking, please fucking tell me that the sharks leave little flags next to the kills that they've made. Because it was like a skull and crossbones, I was like, did you ever used to play Worms?
I was just about to say, mate, Worms with like a little, it was like a grave or something.
You could leave a little gravestone when they die, when they were like, and killed themselves. I thought it was that.
So I'm going to bring out me inner English literature graduate here.
Oh, God.
Did you notice the colour of those flags?
It was orange, wasn't it?
No, it was red.
Okay.
Red is symbolic of danger.
Right.
It's...
Right, where are we going here?
It's just brilliant filmmaking.
I thought there was like the most intricate knowledge coming out, and it was just the flag was red, mate.
I think that's what it was. I was probably reading it into a little bit too much.
This is just essentially just a Poundland version of June, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Huw, the logo that flashes up at the beginning, that was clearly just made on Movie Maker, and just says Sand Sharks, but it's written in red and yellow, and it looks like the fucking Hulkamania logo. We've
Definite
got the
inspiration,
wrong
isn't it?
fucking Hogan in it, but they've definitely done it for a laugh, haven't they?
Can you imagine Hulk Hogan being used as the dynamite to take these guys out?
I'm gonna prove, brother, that I can beat you anywhere, anytime.
He just comes in and leg drops a fucking shark. I'll tell you what I loved in this film, Huw. It was all the like little comments like, don't bite my head off, or I'll bite on that, or I'm drawing a line in the sand.
Drove us nuts.
Really? I thought whoever wrote this, they deserve an Oscar.
I thought this is actually really self-aware. I quite like this. Then they went overboard and every other sentence had a shark pun. Don't bite my head off. I'm just as upset as you are. The female cop Brenda says that line. They look like they're standing in a queue trying to get a Buzz Lightyear autograph. There's just not a shred of emotion. It's just two parents at Disneyland. I mean, Brenda, she doesn't stop there. She also says, you can do this kind of thing with dirt bikes nowadays. You can ride them in the water. Can you? You can ride a dirt bike on the sea. We're not playing Grand Theft Auto. She's just stuck her cheats in. Her brother, John the Sheriff, he's also got a permanent wet lip that makes for uncomfortable viewing, Stu.
I didn't notice.
How did you not notice? I went to wear my sunglasses when I was watching it. We can talk about the CGI in this film, but I think the standout one for me was one of the final kills. So you know the massive shark that's at the top of the mountain?
Big Mama.
That's the one when it comes out the side of the mountain. That reminded us of Back to the Future 2. You know when Marty's just walking through the town and you've got that like 3D multicoloured polygon shark that just comes out and bites him. Couldn't get that out my head.
What I couldn't get out my head is, why is it like huge when it's on top of the mountain? It's like as big as the mountain. When it comes down, it's just the size of a normal human being. It suddenly like shrinks to attack. Did that happen when you got attacked by a shark, Huw?
If we hit 1 million likes, I'll let you know.
I rate that.
The incentives
always pushing
there.
for growth.
Yeah, that's the one. I want to talk about Angus, the guy who's wearing a beanie, who's the shark hunter.
I thought he was like Popeye and Hobo with a Shotgun's love child.
He just shows up. Where's he getting an M16 from? Modded out. He just talks absolute waffle all day long.
Yeah, but he knows his shit, doesn't he?
He also says, PS10 large, I'll come and kill this shark for you. he waits till everyone on the beach has been eaten before he shows up. So, speaking of sharks and marine life, the cheerleader who's been cast as the marine biologist in this movie, Hulk Hogan's daughter, they're trying to determine what species of shark this tooth belongs to.
Oh my god, yeah.
That was found inside of the victim. She says, I think I'll have to run some more tests. Let's be clear here. She hasn't completed a test in her life.
She has. It was a chlamydia test though, wasn't it? Up till then, I was convinced she was a real marine biologist. She had me. The bit that got me is when she holds up a little baby tooth and says, this is bigger than a great white shark's tooth, and it's just a baby tooth. That can only come from a prehistoric sand tiger shark. And I thought, nah, she's bullshitting now.
An immediate diagnosis. She must know what she's talking about. I want to move on to the power cable, Stu.
I think the shark's pretty intelligent, to be honest, how it bites out the power.
Absolutely. It's a great point you make. What I can't understand, though...
You sarcastic.
There's a single power cable that supplies the whole town. A single power cable that looks like it's off a Scalextric set. Why is the central power supply exposed on the beach?
Because they need it for the party.
They need the cable that supplies the whole town to stretch all the way to the beach for the party.
Well, yeah, because if it's the only power cable that supplies the whole town, they're going to need it for the speakers, aren't they?
Haven't I heard of extension cables? Secondly, the shark looks like a giant beaver when it's chewing through this cable. I don't know what's happened with CGI. I don't know if the computer guy just like smashed his head off his keyboard and he's just programmed a different animal, but it looks ridiculous.
I don't think the CGI was worse in that specific bit than it was in the entire rest of this film, to be honest with you.
It was very consistent.
They decide the only way to kill these sharks is to superheat sand with a flamethrower.
Ah, man. The science behind it. They've got a scientist.
The marine biologist came in and said, well, the thing is, the way these prehistoric sand sharks got made extinct was by glass. Turn them into fucking glass. And so that's what they do. But the CGI on the sharks stuck in the glass bit is questionable.
Thousands of college kids are going to be spending money in our town, is what Jimmy says. You know, he's got a real passion for this town's economy, which is the driving force of his character in this film. The scene when he's on the mic, there's literally about 20 people in the crowd.
And so all those people, there's 3 tents. There's literally 3 tents to keep everyone in.
There's a brilliant scene, an overhead shot in this film where everyone's spread about 5 metres, and it's like the director's obviously just gone, everyone, we need to make 20 people look like 2,000. I think it's a private party, that's what it is.
Even though they said it was going to change the town's fortune. Maybe they're really rich kids though, and they're actually spending about $2 million each to be there. It's like Fire Festival. Fucking hell,
There's a scene in this, Stu, I just want to get your opinion on this. I was quite offended by it.
Okay.
Jimmy and Brenda have this ongoing sort of, I love you, you love me, but we both hate each other. Brenda gets eaten. She's literally bitten in half. And Jimmy drags her from the beach to his car.
I know what you're going to say here.
Starts trying to neck on with her. He's thinking like, well, I'm not going to get another chance. I might as well just go for it.
Yeah, I was offended, and let me tell you why. I think it's fair to say that anyone in that scenario would not go in for a kiss, would they? They'd... Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh, here it comes. What I believe they would do in that scenario, you know, she's dying, she's bleeding out. You definitely feel her tits first.
Oh, I'm sweating. Oh, man. They eventually blow the shark up. There's fireworks everywhere. Did you notice that they just kept randomly throwing shark organs on the two people. I mean, the shark blows up, right? Its flesh flies away like a quick save bag, but then there's just shark organs just get dumped on them about 3 times. The physics of this film, nothing's off the table.
This film is ultimately about the connection between human beings, and it's essentially a love tale, isn't it? Interwoven relationships for us to keep track of. And ultimately, like you say, the final scene, it's just beautiful.
We can all take something away from this film and apply it to our lives. It's never too late to be a marine biologist.
Inspiring.
I think we're done.